penguji dan pembimbing. Hari ini kita akan mendengarkan presentasi pemaparan karya tulis ilmiah dari teman Ardo dengan judul An Analysis of Moral Values in the Movie Kung Fu Panda. Untuk Ardo, teman Ardo, waktu dan kesempatan dipersilakan.
Good morning, fathers, Mr. Valen, Ms. Lia, and friends, or I'm sure everyone who is gathered here. Before I start my presentation, I would like to give my regards and deepest gratitude sincerely to Father Aris as the principal of the school, as well as the main examiner today, Mr. Valen as the secretary examiner, and Ms. Lia as mentor supervisor, as well as the head examiner. In today's occasion, I am going to be presenting my scientific writing, or preferably known as paper, entitled An Analysis of Moral Values in the Movie Kupang. A brief introduction. The aim of the study is to show that there is more than just simply watching a movie, watching a bunch of pictures, moving pictures in front of the screen. But there are valuable lessons, moral values that we can pick from these movies through the characters or the movie itself, that we can use as an example in our daily lives, as well as to help develop a better character. The problem statement of this research is what moral values are presented in the movie Kung Fu Panda 1. The objective of research is to describe the moral values presented in the movie Kung Fu Panda. The research significance consists of two. One being the theoretical significance. The theoretical significance of this research is that it would help people develop knowledge in analyzing movies, films, or any sort of media. The second significance of this research is practical significance. The research is targeted to serve as a discussion in adding to the diversity of understanding of moral values presented in the movie. The limitation of this research is to only focus on the moral values contained in the movie, may it be through the characters or the movie itself, to prevent prolonging the research. Chapter 2. The meaning of moral. Moral, based on the Cambridge Dictionary, is that moral means relating to standards of good or bad behavior, honesty and fairness. Morality, according to Stenberg, is that morality refers to concern with what is good and right in people's relationships with each other. The key to understanding morality is to define what is right and wrong in thought and behavior. One of the beliefs about morality is that 1. Beliefs about the nature of man. 2. Beliefs about ideal, about what is good, what is desirable or worthy, or the pursuit for one's own sake. 3. Motives that incline us to choose the right or wrong course. Next is the definition of value. The word value is a judgment of right and wrong. That things are useful as individuals happen to value them. Value means being valued and good means still good. But the term value is considered a sense of right and wrong, good or bad. Value in a moment to which a value is sacrificed by a value, determining which is good and bad. Types of moral. Individual morals are an internal compass that guides people's decisions and actions, shaping their beliefs, their sense of right and wrong based on personal convictions and beliefs. These values can include integrity, courage, respect, fairness, and compassion. Next up is social moral value as social creature. Social moral values are the principles and norms that a society deems as something morally acceptable or worthy, guiding how individuals should behave and interact with each other, foster a harmonious and justice society. Humans certainly do relationships with other human beings in daily life, with family, environment, society, and state. This is called social moral. Types of movies. There are many types of movies such as action, drama, comedy, romantic comedy, horror, science fiction, suspense or thriller, commentary or non-fiction, and animation. Action. A type of movie that is fast-paced plot with scenes of violence, excitement, and thrilling and often dangerous. Some examples include Top Gun Maverick, Inception, and The Dark Knight. Action movies can also be combined with other movie genres such as action adventure, action thriller, or sci-fi action. Next is drama. Drama, a type of movie genre that typically focuses on portraying real-life situations and emotional journeys of characters, which often deals with complex issues like relationships, family dynamics, and personal growth. Shows human beings at their best, their worst, or everything in between. Comedy. Comedy films are designed to elicit laughter from the audience, not to just entertain them, but to express emotions with exaggerated situations. Comedy films are light-hearted dramas that are crafted to amuse the audience, which, as said, humorously exaggerates the situation, language, action, and the characters. Next is romantic comedy. Romantic comedy is a subgenre of romance action and comedy, which is similar to any other comedy genres, where it focuses on light-hearted, humorous plot lines, but is mostly centered on romantic ideas, such as how true love is able to surmount obstacles. Horror. Horror films are films that are designed to evoke fear and to intense emotions through various means like suspense, gore, and supernatural elements. Other exploring themes of the macabre and unknown, giving the audience sense of curiosity with unexpected jump scares, plot twists, and a deeper lore in the movie. Next is science fiction. A film genre that explores the speculative science-based themes such as futuristic technologies, space exploration, time travel, and extraterrestrial life, which often creating alternative realities, theories, and engaging with philosophical questions. Next is suspense or thriller. A thriller movie is a type of movie that evokes two heightened feelings of suspense, anticipation, and sometimes fear through the course of plot-driven narrative, involving crime or psychological tension, keeping the audience on the edge of their seats. Non-fiction or commentary. Commentary type of movie is where actors or film experts provide insights and behind-the-scenes information while the movie plays, which gives off a soothing and comfortable vibe, telling more than just watching and listening. And last of all, animation. Animation movies are motion picture-based film, created using animation techniques where still images are manipulated to create the illusion of movement, featuring characters and stories that are brought to life through creative artistry and technology such as CGI, meaning computer-generated imagery, and it's the type of film genre the writer is analyzing today. Next is chapter 3. The research type. The research type the researcher is using today. Just give me another moment. The research type the researcher is using today is qualitative descriptive research. Studies, also known as exploratory studies and qualitative description approaches, are relatively new in the research landscape. They emerge predominantly in the field of nursing and midwifery. Over the past 2 decades, design of qualitative disruption studies evolved means to find aspects of qualitative research that doesn't resemble qualitative research at all. Despite including elements of those other studies' designs, too, qualitative descriptive studies describe phenomena rather than explain them. Phenomenological studies, ethnographic studies, and those using grounded theory seek to explain a phenomenon. The main aim of a qualitative descriptive research is to provide a comprehensive summary of events through pictures of sorts and analyzes what's in the picture. The approach of the study design is journalistic, with the aim being to answer the questions who, what, where, and how. Next is the data and source of data. The research data in the scientific book uses primary data. Primary data is which data is obtained directly from individuals, certain groups, and respondents that have been determined from time to time. The source of data in the study is the movie Panda. The reason why the writer decided to conduct the research on this book is because of the various morals presented in the movie, whether by the character or the movie itself. Data collection technique used in this research is observation. Observation is essentially an activity using the 5 senses, such as sight, smell, hearing, and to obtain the information needed to which can be used to answer research problems. The research of observations are in the form of activities, events, incidents, objects, or certain conditions, or atmospheres and a person's emotional feelings. Observations are carried out to obtain a real picture of an event or incident, answer research questions. Data collection techniques are provided. One of those examples is participant observation, which is a data collection method that uses to collect research data through observation and sensing where researchers are involved in the daily lives of informants. This observation is a method that is quite easy to use because it uses more survey statistics, such as examining social actions carried out by certain people. The technique is carried out systematically on an object of social phenomena being studied. Next is the data analysis method. The data analysis method used in this study is semiotic data analysis. Semiotic data analysis is a type of method of analyzing lines and symbols to understand how they create meaning. Semiotic data analysis is also a study of signs and symbols to understand how they communicate meaning. It's also a qualitative research method that uses to analyze non-numerical data. The objective of semiotic analysis is to understand how meaning is created through signs such as words, images, and gestures. It can be used to study a variety of media, including advertising, art, literature, and brands. Semiotic analysis is a way to discover the meaning of science, such as the ones previously announced. Roland Barthes believes that semiotics is a branch of linguistics. Semiotics is a social theory that analyzes the structure of science and language. Social theory on this is based on the idea that signs are made up of signifier and signified. Signifier, meaning the physical appearance of a sign, such as word, image, or sound. Signified, the concept or meaning associated with the signifier. The data analysis can be carried out in the following manner. Number 1 is watching the movie Panda over and over. 2, analyzing the moral values contained in the movie. 3, marking each scene that contains moral values or content with the meaning that we can depict. And number 4, analyzing using the signified and signified system. And last one, number 5, describing the personalities or qualities of the characters, such in the movie. The research finding of this study is that there are many moral values found in the Become Panda, being honesty, peacefulness, self-reliance, self-discipline, and courage. From the picture shown, this part of the scene depicts the moral value of honesty. Honesty is the quality of being truthful, sincere, and fair. It involves speaking and acting truthfully. Honesty can also mean being straightforward and adhering to the facts. Honesty is a form of or a fundamental adjustment between the words spoken and taken by someone. Following are examples of scenes that depicts the moral value of honesty, such as the one we're screening right now. In the scene, we can come to conclude that Paul is telling his father the truth. When he says, "Dad, I lied. I don't dream about news." From the picture above, we can see that Paul tells his truth, even though his dad still forces him to work in his news shop. This part of the movie shows that the moral value of honesty, being honest, where Paul shows his honesty. Hence, in this value shows the audiences that lying can tend to hurt someone towards their feelings, that even the smallest lie can cause harm in the future. Next up, in this scene depicts the moral value of peacefulness. Peacefulness or peaceability is a value that can help people feel and function better. It can be developed by understanding, controlling actions triggered by negative emotions, and using positive emotions to promote peace. Such as an example of a picture, which is shown in the front. Here, Paul sees himself in the scroll. Thailand, who's obsessed to have scroll because he believed it would validate him and fulfill his destiny as the dragon warrior. Surprisingly, when he gets a hold of the dragon scroll, there was nothing in it. Blank, just his own reflection. But Paul remembers his dad's lesson that the secret to their family suite was nothing. Or in other words, the scroll is like a mirror of ourselves, that everything is already inside us. That we don't need other people's validations to prove something, because all we need is the power to trust and manifest it. Next is self-reliance. Self-reliance is the quality of depending on yourself for things instead of relying on others. Self-reliance is the path to personal growth and fulfillment. Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, "With relying on yourself, you become more independent and autonomous. In other words, you take care of yourself." The next pictures depict the value of self-reliance. From the picture, we can see that Master Shifu catches Poe in the kitchen when he tells Poe that there are almond cookies on the shelf, but the monkey usually hides them. Poe unknowingly climbs up with no effort. In shock, Shifu replies, No, I mean, how did you get up there?" Poe replies, "I don't know. I guess I don't know. I was just getting a cookie." Shifu then says, "And yet you were 10 feet off the ground. And you have done a perfect split." Then Poe says, "No, this is just an accident." Shifu then tells Poe, "There are no accidents, come with me." From that alone, we can come to conclude for this scene that just by believing yourself, you can act in your own will without the need of other people's help, and even unlocking things you never knew you could do. Next up is self-discipline. Self-discipline is the ability to behave in a way that achieves your goals, even when you don't like it, whether you can control your lust, temptations, and focusing on importance and healthy. Self-discipline is the ability to take action regardless of your emotions, state of mind, or physical condition. Self-discipline is essential for self-mastery, and overcoming destructive impulses. In this scene, we can conclude that Paul is training in the mountains with Master Shifu, where they fight for the last dumpling. And through this training, Paul learns to control his lust. Where he says, "Am I?" Where he says, where Shifu says, "You are free to eat." And Paul replies, "Am I?" Shifu then asks, "Are you?" Paul finally gets the last dumpling, but to Shifu's cries, Paul gives back the dumpling. Paul says, "I am not hungry, Master," and bows to Master Shifu. From the scene, we can depict the value of discipline. Next up, and final, courage. Courage can be defined as mental or emotional strength to resist danger, adversity, or opposition. Courage is an important trait in effective leadership. Courage is in acting and recognizing the risks that will occur needed to achieve a goal. Courage is the ability to overcome fear, rather than the absence of fear. Courage is demonstrated by standing up for justice and truth in the face of oppression. From these pictures, shown, we can come to conclude that in the beginning of the movie shows a mighty warrior, a courageous Panda, well known as the legendary warrior, saving the world from villains with his amazing kung fu skills. And there is no match for his art. The morning reveals that the mighty warrior is a Panda who has dreamed to become a kung fu master, and the rest is history. From the scene in the movie depicts the value of courage. Courage gives the understanding to audiences that although there is a lot of things that's happening between dreams and reality, no matter how big of a desire we have, there must be courage to start it. Five. Suggestion. Based on the research result, there are several suggestions in the movie Panda, which include, number one, for movie reviews. The movie Kung Fu Panda can inspire people to value more by learning the morals by characters in the movie or the movie itself. For education, there are many moral values in the movie that can be used as an example in our real lives, as well as valuable lessons. We can open the way we see, think, and interact. Third, for future researchers. Future researchers can use a different type of analysis method or a forum or different point of view about the movie, which opens a field of understandings or to deepen the story, different perspectives. The conclusion. This research mostly focuses on analyzing the moral values presented by the main characters in the movie or through the movie itself. From the description above, the moral values in the movie Kung Fu Panda throughout the film can be seen through the characters' interactions, moments, valuable lessons, or scenes that depict a deeper meaning. The researcher has come to conclude that the most found moral values in the movie are honesty, peacefulness, self-reliance, self-discipline, and courage. The main purpose of this research is to showcase the moral values in the movie which can be used as an example in our daily lives. And among those morals, the one that stood out the most is honesty. The characters try to gain each other's trust. That being said, my presentation for today is finished.
Okay, thank you, Ardo, for your presentation of scientific literature. Congratulations on completing your scientific literature. Next up, we will have question and answer session, and I will give the opportunity to the first examiner to give questions, critics, or maybe suggestions, and you have 15 minutes to give the questions. Start from now.
Thank you, Arno. When I read your writing or your paper, I'm so happy because you used simple words and I can understand. Thank you and appreciate. I have some questions. When I think about the Kung Fu, in my opinion, it is a criminal movie. When I was a child, I also always watched Kung Fu. Why you choose Kung Fu?
The reason I chose this was when I was a child, I was really into Kung Fu movies, Kung Fu type movies. And in that, when I was born, this movie was also released at the same time I was born, 2008. And early on, when I turned 7, I was really motivated where anytime I would watch a Kung Fu related movie, I would be really happy as anytime a new movie releases, I could find ways to watch the movie or simply just ask my dad to come with me to watch the movie.
How many times do you watch this movie?
I'd say around 7 times.
Or 7 times, yeah. Why you choose this movie, not the other movie?
Yeah, there are many. There are 4 Kung Fu Panda movies. I specifically chose this one because I kind of relate to the main antagonist in this movie, Thailand, where in the movie we can see him as someone who's hardworking, but when time has come where he was destined to become, well, or so he thought he was destined to become the Dragon Warrior. Master Ugwe says that there is darkness in him, which shows that all his hard work was for nothing, that he was betrayed. And I can kind of relate when I was a kid, when all my hard work was for nothing. And so I chose this movie to show people that there is just more to than just watching a movie, that we can learn valuable lessons through anything, even the people around us. And so I chose this movie to show that there are valuable lessons contained in this movie.
Excellent. I want to continue. I want to comment and I want to say some questions. And when you write down this paper, you use the semiotics approach. Yeah. Semiotics is a branch of linguistics. Yeah. And it is difficult. When a philosopher in Netherlands, I also studied about semiotics. How about your opinion about semiotics?
My opinion on semiotic data analysis, which was presented, semiotic data analysis is a type of analyzing method, specifically in qualitative and descriptive researches. In my opinion, semiotic data analysis is quite profounding, which in terms of researches like qualitative and descriptive researches, it can help audiences, movie viewers or any such, to picture, not just to read, but to imagine themselves in the movie using the signifier and signified system.
Yeah. When we write down the paper, I think you 2 points, 1 point, when we take a research based on the interest, 1 point and 2 point based on problem. I think you write it, your paper based on interest. And I want to ask, what is different, good and right? What is different?
The similarities.
Because in our daily life, good similar with right, and also right similar with good. What is different, good and right? And you can give us example.
So the differences between good or right, there aren't really many differences, since people in our daily lives use the words which contain similarities. So, in my opinion, the meaning of good, difference between good or right, right can be used for something that is rather worthy, something that can be seen as worthy of the time, if it can benefit them with positive meanings, while the meaning of good can be symbolized something that we can depict as a positive, in a positive way. Although there are many differences, as like I said, people sometimes use the words without knowing the differences, because they're quite similar. Is all I have to say.
Okay. I think rightness is a high level than the good. Eh? Yeah. Everything, yeah. All of the goodness is below of righteousness. Eh? Right. Yeah. Okay. How many failures do you like in this movie?
It's quite a lot. One of them is self-reliance, where believing in yourself teaches us that by believing in ourselves, we can actually accomplish things without people's validations, without people's help. That we are capable of doing what we love, what we need, and what we want, if we want to, if we believe in ourselves, if we have faith in ourselves. Oh yeah. Oh, and the other value is honesty. In the movie, the characters try to gain each other's trust, which I can also relate to. Whenever I meet someone new or make new friends, I would like to get to know them better, get to know them more. I want to ensure that they can trust me, and the other way around.
Yeah, thank you. You know that when we read novel, you also know the protagonist and antagonist, and when we watch a movie, that is the same. And what the meaning of the protagonist and antagonist? Do you know?
In my opinion, personally, I think the protagonist or the main character in a movie is a character that is being more prioritized, where the movie itself is prioritizing their story, while the antagonist is the main villain of the movie, film, or any sort of media, where the antagonist is usually can be seen as evil, or the character character that impacts the main character the most?
Protagonist is like friends, yeah. And antagonist like murderer. Yeah, murderer. And in your life, in your vocation, do you know protagonist in your life? And also, how many times you be an antagonist in your life?
See, so I don't really see myself as someone special or main character, but there are times where I think that in that moment I am the only person who's alive. For example, I'm doing a test. In that moment, I'm fully sophisticated on only doing the exam, and that there's no one around me, just me and me. So, and antagonist side, times when I feel down, rejected or betrayed. One of those times is when I was a child. I was around 9. I was still in Australia, and during that time, I met new people, new friends in a school. When I recently got transferred into a new school in Perth, at first I thought that these people, these friends that I just recently met were nice. So from there, not too long after, I started to realize that they were only being forced to be friends with me because I'm Asian. And in that moment, I kind of got traumatized, as well as kind of the word social anxiety was developing.
Okay, thank you. Your experience. Okay, Arnold, thank you. I think enough.
Okay, thank you for our honors at the first examiner. Next up, we'll have the second examiner, and you have 10 minutes to start from now.
Okay, thank you for the chance given to me. First of all, congratulations for your writing. I think I'm very surprised because you take the semiotics problems and myself and father, we know that semiotics is a difficult problem, difficult way to analyze about one thing, especially about movie or art. And I'm very surprised that you use Roland Barthes, Saussure. That's, for me, that's amazing. Yeah. Because that's not the easy work. Okay, that's the first. The second of all, I have some suggestions. Thank you for father that talk about the substance of the writings. But for me, I will talk about the methodologies. First, let's go to page 5 in Roman about the table of content. For the neatness of the writing, you must pay attention for the type of font. That's not Times New Roman. I think that's Arial. Yeah. And also about the source. You talk about in page. I'm sorry. For example, in page 4, you talk about the types of movies, and we don't know, you take it from where? Put the source in there, and we can know you take it from where. You must take care for the plagiarism. Plagiat. Because if you talk about something, especially about a theory for the chapter 2, you must put research for the source. I see that you use the body note, and for body note or note or footnote, it's okay, but you must put in the right, especially about the theory. Okay, next, I will talk about conclusion in the chapter 5, closing. You don't put the conclusion after the suggestion. The conclusion must be the first. It's the
Second one.
It must be the first, and the second one is suggestion. Don't do like this. Because we must give the conclusion, and the first and the second we give the suggestion. Okay. And the second, I don't see that the chapter 2 and chapter 4 have the relation enough. The lesson of the chapter 2 and chapter 4, the description of the moral values in chapter 2 is not comparable with the movie enough. You talk too much about movie, and you don't, you talk too much about movie, types of movie, and thing else about that, but you talk about the types of morals. It's not enough for me. And that's we can see in the chapter 4. Chapter 4, when you talk about the your data about the sin, you talk too much, so you're wasting time to talk about the character. You also give us the character, and the character, I think it have the description too much. I think in my opinion, in chapter 4, you have to compare it with the chapter 2 about the values of moral values, and you compare it in the chapter 4. You use it as the basic of the description of the chapter 4. So don't waste time to work about the character. I think that's not the main idea or the important things in their writings. Okay, that's about the methodologies. I hope you write down and note it so you can do it better.
Thank you for the suggestions.
That's all from me. No question. I have no question about because Father Aris is talk about the substancy of the this writing. I think it's enough. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Palan, for your suggestions and suggestion. Next up, we'll have the first advisor. I'll give you opportunity to maybe ask a question, critics, or maybe suggest. Start from her.
Okay, thank you very much for the time and chance. So, good morning for all of us.
Good
morning, Miss. Okay, first of all, I'd like to appreciate Arnold because you have completed your paper well. And then also, I'd like to thank Father Aris and also Papalen because of now they are here as the examiners. Okay, so I have no question actually. And then here I just want to comment about some inputs and comments given by the examiners, especially the second examiners, Mr. Palan. Don't forget to pay attention about the type and then the font, especially in table of content, and then about the source of the subjects. Okay, so you can prevent the plagiarism. And then the next is about the relation between chapter 2 and 4. Okay, so you have to fix your paper, and then I wish that you can do your best. The same as today, you have presented in front of all of us. And then there is no question, and then I'd like to give you a note here because what you're going to find in this paper is regarding the moral value, and then there are a lot of moral values that you get there, and then we can learn also together. And then I hope that you not only find what you are going to find, especially about the moral value, you can also implement it in your life. So I think that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lia, as the advisor. I also thank Father Aris and Mr. Palan as the examiner. Also, congratulations, Arnold, for your certificate. That's all from us.